Picture this. You're sitting at a restaurant, checking your phone every 30 seconds. Your friend texted, "I'm leaving now," 20 minutes ago. You know exactly how this ends. They'll walk in, breathless and apologetic, with some creative excuse you've heard 5 times before. Now here's the real question. Why do some people do this every single time? Is it just bad luck, or is something deeper going on? Today, we're going inside the minds of people who are chronically late. And I promise, it's way more interesting than you think. Here's what most people don't realize. Chronic lateness isn't just one thing. It's not about being careless or rude. There are actually 5 distinct psychological patterns that cause people to run late over and over again. And the wild part? Most late people don't even realize which pattern they're stuck in. So I want you to pay attention as we go through these, because you're definitely going to recognize yourself or someone you know. Maybe it'll finally explain why your best friend has never been on time to anything in their entire life. Let's dive in. First up, we have what I call the optimist. This is the person who genuinely believes they can take a shower, blow dry their hair, make breakfast, respond to 3 emails, and drive 15 minutes across town in exactly 20 minutes. When you ask them, "Are you leaving soon?" they say, "Yeah, just got to do one quick thing." And that one thing somehow multiplies into 7 things. Here's a real example. My friend Sarah once told me she was 5 minutes away while she was still in her pajamas. In her mind, getting dressed, doing makeup, finding her keys, and driving were all somehow going to happen in 5 minutes. Spoiler, it took 45. So what's happening psychologically? These people have what's called time optimism. Their brain genuinely miscalculates how long things take. It's not that they're lying to you or to themselves. They truly believe they have more time than they do. Research shows that optimistic people's internal clocks actually run differently. When they think 5 minutes have passed, it's been closer to 10 or 15. They're not being realistic about time because their brain keeps telling them, "You've got this, you can totally make it." And they believe it every single time, even though they've been proven wrong 1,000 times before. Next, we have the perfectionist. This person is late because nothing is ever quite right. They change their outfit 4 times. They redo their eyeliner. They rewrite that text message before they leave. They need everything to be perfect before they can walk out the door. And perfect takes time. Picture this. You're waiting outside to pick them up. They see you through the window, they wave, and then they disappear for another 12 minutes because they decided their shirt didn't match their shoes. What's going on here? This is actually perfectionism mixed with ego protection. Deep down, these people are terrified of being judged. They'd rather be late and look polished than be on time and feel not ready. Being late feels safer than being imperfect. Their brain is essentially saying, if I show up looking flawless, no one can criticize me. But if I show up on time and something's off, they'll notice. So they sacrifice punctuality to protect their self-image. The ironic part is, they don't realize that being late is also something people judge them for. But somehow, that feels less painful than showing up less than perfect.
Then there's the juggler. This is the person who's always doing 17 things at once. They're finishing work, texting 3 people, ordering something online, and trying to leave the house all at the same time. When you call them, they're like, "Sorry, I'm just wrapping something up." But that something always leads to something else. Here's how it goes. They're about to leave, then they remember they need to send an email. While sending the email, they see another email they need to respond to. While responding, they remember they forgot to water the plants, and suddenly 30 minutes have evaporated. Psychologically, this is decision paralysis meeting poor prioritization. Their brain struggles to decide what's most important, so they try to do everything at once. They can't let go of tasks, even small ones, because it all feels urgent. They're essentially trapped in their own mental to-do list, and time slips away while they're trying to check off just one more thing. The reason this keeps happening is because their brain gets a tiny hit of satisfaction from completing tasks, even tiny ones. So they keep chasing that feeling, not realizing that each one more thing is making them later and later. Now let's talk about the rebel. This person is late because, on some level, they don't want to be controlled. Maybe they grew up with super strict parents. Maybe they have a controlling boss. Maybe they just hate feeling like they have to be somewhere. So being late becomes their little act of rebellion. Imagine someone who's perfectly on time for things they want to do, concerts, dates, trips, but mysteriously always late for work, family dinners, or obligations. That's not an accident. What's happening here is passive resistance. They're not consciously trying to disrespect you, but deep down, their lateness is a way of saying, I'm in control of my time, not you. It's a psychological need for autonomy. When they feel pressured to be somewhere, being late becomes a way to reclaim power over their own schedule. The tricky part is, they usually don't even realize they're doing it. They'll blame traffic or say they lost track of time, but the pattern reveals the truth. They're on time when they feel free and late when they feel obligated. It's not about the person waiting, it's about how they feel about the commitment itself. Finally, we have the avoider. This is someone who's late because part of them doesn't actually want to go. Maybe it's a stressful meeting. Maybe it's dinner with someone they're not excited to see. Maybe it's just social anxiety creeping in. So they procrastinate, move slowly, find distractions, anything to delay the inevitable. Here's the tell. They're getting ready, but they're moving in slow motion. They sit on their bed for 10 minutes, scrolling their phone. They suddenly decide now is the perfect time to organize a drawer. They're not rushing because part of them is hoping that if they're late enough, maybe they won't have to stay as long. This is avoidance coping. Their brain is trying to protect them from discomfort, so it creates delays. Being late becomes a subconscious way to reduce the amount of time they have to spend in an uncomfortable situation. It's a defense mechanism. And here's the thing, they often feel guilty about it. They know they should leave earlier, but the anxiety of what they're about to face is stronger than their desire to be on time. So their brain keeps inventing reasons to stay just a little bit longer. So there you have it, 5 psychological patterns that explain why some people are chronically late. The optimist who misjudges time, the perfectionist who can't leave until everything's flawless, the juggler who can't stop multitasking, the rebel who's protecting their autonomy, and the avoider who's delaying discomfort. Here's what I want you to understand. None of these people are trying to be rude. They're not doing this to hurt you. They're stuck in a psychological pattern that feels completely real and justified to them in the moment. If you're someone who's always waiting, try to have some compassion. And if you're someone who's always late, maybe now you understand why. Awareness is the first step to changing the pattern. So let me ask you this, which type are you? Or which type is someone in your life? Drop a comment below. I'm genuinely curious if you see yourself in one of these, or maybe you're a combination of a few. And if this video helped you understand yourself or someone you love a little bit better, consider subscribing. We talk about human behavior, psychology, and why we do the things we do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.